Welcome back to the JSFL. We're here in week before the week 9 podcast. And we had a pretty good slate of week 8 games that went underway, and now we're done. And we're getting ready for the week 9 schedule is out today. And we go recap, we go MVP race, we go standings, we go playoff picture, we go tops, and we get my takes on each team. So let's start off with the week 8 recap. Let's hit it. Starting off week 8, we had the Enforcers at the win. A divisional battle, and those divisional battles were always close. But Wynn had the favorite in this one. I think I said Rogers was going to go off, like 75 yards. Buzzer on that one. It was an Enforcers win. Not too convincingly, but they did it pretty well against one of the best in Kansas. Well, I don't know if I'd call them one of the best. But Kansas City. They beat the Kansas City win, and that was pretty good. So Enforcers go 4-4 now, and maybe they have a shot in that playoff picture. Then we had the Natives at the Pirates. This was a Natives win. Yes, it was. I'm pretty sure this game was kind of close to the end. I can't really remember. I'm not for sure completely, but I think Hastings, they lost by a little bit, but they don't look too bad. And Hastings actually looks like he has a future in Cleveland, so I'd like to see them keep him next year, which I think they will. They have more pressing needs, so I hope so. Then you got the Power App Businessman. This one was a power win in the rain, I believe, so pretty good for the Power. And they're on a 4-game win streak now, so pretty good for them. Come on, that's Edward Phillips having his best game of his career so far at home against Phoenix. They did lose, but they made it look like a pretty good game for a while. Phillips 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a pretty good passer rating to go with it. Then you have the Predators at the Earthquake. The Predators win this one, going 4-4, and the Earthquake 3-5. Earthquake losing 1 out of 5. They're 1 for 5 in their last 6 games, so not good for the Earthquake. Playoffs are not looking in their future, so it'll be 2 years where LA could not make a playoff if they don't clean up. Then, to end out the weekend, Musicians at the Fishers, with the Musicians' defense stood strong in Minneapolis. Tony Jackson really couldn't get anything going. And then, New Orleans when they clicked, they really clicked and they got it going. Owen Castle's destroyed, and yeah, Leonard Roy actually had a pretty good game too, because Castle got injured for a little bit. And that was your week 8. So we're gonna go now on to the standings and other things like that. So power rankings, number 12 we have the 1-7 Cleveland Pirates. Because of the record, I'd still probably put them at 12 with how the sharp bats played. I'm not convinced they're a good team yet. I probably won't be convinced this season unless they win older games very convincingly down the stretch. So Cleveland tried their role against Seattle, but it's not looking like they're going to go to the playoffs. They need a miracle. They would need pretty much both of the teams in the division to lose out all their games and then win out all their games. Cleveland probably not going to go to the playoffs, and if they don't step it up, they're going to be relocated. So, and actually, I did make a new rule. I should probably write that down. I forgot to. If your team gets 0-win, if your team is the worst team by the end of the season, you are out, right? But if your team had won a JSFL championship in the last 4 years, your team is not relocated. You get 1 more year to bounce back. So that is good. So say Phoenix, they got to the worst team, which they're not going to be, but they wouldn't get relocated because they won a JSFL championship last year. And it's kind of going to be harder for these teams because we just started the JSFL franchise. So yeah, but just saying that would be how it works. So we're gonna write that down. 4 times JSFL championship equals 4 times equals no reload. Okay. So that is that. I just want to get that out of the way. So Cleveland, Hastings looks good. I'll give you a breakdown on their whole thing. Frank Jog, he is doing pretty good. Definitely going to be a franchise back if they can keep him around. Wide receivers, Bowen, good. Their wide receiver core is looking nice. I do like a wide talent. I like Josh Bowden, Jonathan Anderson. They need a 4th guy to help them, so maybe they go for a 4th guy later down in the draft. But not a pressing need. Tight end, Sean Larson's a beast. O-line, they need to address that. Left side's kind of weak. Right side, serviceable. Defensive line, the weakest point on the team, definitely. Because they got an old Don Pagan, Joshua Todd, who is not that great. And then you got Delibert Ellis, who's a late round rookie. Okay, but not what you want. Linebackers are pretty good. You got Gary Riley, Andrew Carter, and we'll see. Gary Riley, Andrew Carter, and middle linebacker is I can't remember. I don't know why I'm stumbling on his name. He's not bad, but what's it? It is Delibert Ellis. That's who it is. He hasn't had too much action this year, but those linebacker core is not. It's definitely the best part of their defense. And then secondary, Mullins needs to be replaced next year. He's going to get worse and worse. Shelton's good. Patrick's good. Colin Brown is okay. Probably not what you want at slot corner, but okay for now, I guess. But I would probably get a corner not early in the draft, maybe later, but you might want to get one earlier, depending on who you got available. I think Francisco Stevenson would be a good place to go. Cleveland, maybe second or third round, top of it. I feel like you could drop to that. Then you got safeties. Oh, that's their second weakest spot besides D-line. You got Corey Banks and Wilfred Manning. Not good safeties. So, got three really good safeties in this class. You got Angel Washington, Andrew Saunders, Ricardo Sanchez. One of those three at least has got to go to Cleveland in either. I wouldn't say the first round because I think they're going to have Howard Butler if they had the first overall pick. Maybe the second round if one of them falls. Definitely, at least one of them will probably fall in the second round. So, Cleveland could probably bank off that. Number 11, we got the Trout Bass, only 2-16. Phillips, we did say he had a good game. And unless Phillips starts to really pick it up like he did this game, I still think they're going to be in the quarterback shopping market, whether it's free agency, the draft. The only quarterback I'd actually want them taking in the draft if they're going for one is Chad Harrison. With the second overall pick, I think they should go Chad Harrison if Phillips doesn't improve, or if they don't get one free agency, which could be good. They could get Seth's guys rebounding, trying to get one more ring if he doesn't this year. If he doesn't get signed, Brian Teff's the rare chance he leaves Phoenix could go to Charlotte. That would make them very good. So yeah, halfback Joey Adams a beast. Wide receivers, that's one of their weakest points. You got Jackson, who's an absolute beast. But besides Tyler Jackson, who do you have? I mean, Cornelius, he's good. He's the second solid option at number 2. But number 3, Adrian Antis, no, not doing it. He's older. He's going to get even worse next year. And then Alan Raxey out behind him. Not good either. You need at least 1 or 2 wide receivers. I think 1 earlier and then the second one later in the draft. Tight end Jack Knott, he might not be coming back. Carl Cox is good, though, for a backup. Offensive line, pretty good, but they need new left tackle. Ben Robinson, they drafted this year, is not going to do it. But they might keep him around for one more year. D-line, Sylvester Carey's good. I do like Gerald Lush, but he is getting older, so not going to be around for too much longer. Ryan Glassey's good. Washington Torrey, the rookie, is pretty good. I think they should keep him. So the D-line, they just need to wait for that to progress. Maybe get some inside pressure. So defensive tackle could be coming up in the draft for them. Maybe Lewis McCormick. Possibly. Who knows? Depends if someone falls. I would say they're going to go for inside D-line pressure 3rd overall pick. Maybe 4th. No, not overall. 3rd round, 4th round. I think that'd be a good place for it to fall. Then you got the linebackers. Henry Virgin, very good linebacker. Jordan Waster needs to be replaced. He's okay, but not what you want. DeAndre Baller is a good rookie. Corners, you got Fats, Targets, 2 really solid good options. In the slot, you got Darius Smith. No complaints at corner. Free safety, you got Derek Dirt. No complaints. Strong safety, Rodney Bentley, who has shown flashes, but maybe needs to be replaced. So we'll see what happens in the 3rd round, because I think safety could be a 3rd or 4th option again. So we'll see what happens there. Then you got the LA Earthquake. Quarterback Terry Foster, no. I don't think okay, so say this is the order in which they draft. Sharp passed on Chad Harrison. You go Chad Harrison. Foster is he throws way too many picks. And you got weapons. Foster gets the yards, but so can Harrison. So you got weapons. You got Albert Moore. Patterson's okay. Salvador Jacobs is a beast. And then you got Matthew Walker, the slot guy, who's pretty good, but he's aging. So We'll see how much longer he's around for. But yeah, Foster needs to be replaced. I think maybe free agency, but I don't know if they do that. Maybe it's S guys. I can see him going to LA. Let's see what else did he got. I just talked about half. Well, I know I didn't talk about halfway. Ross Williams, he's good overall, but he hasn't been doing yards, so it's a question mark for me on that one. Wide receiver, already talked about how good I think all of them are. Maybe a fourth string wide receiver later in the draft. Offensive line, that is one of the weak spots. It's mostly made of rookies, so probably updating that in the draft. D line, you got Roland Lems, the best defensive lineman, probably the best defensive player, maybe the best player in the league on your D line. Steve Stewart, he needs to be replaced. Stephen Taylor getting older, so he probably needs to be replaced. Benjamin Jones, he's good, so keep him. Linebackers, old rookies, Will Lawson might keep. I don't know about Frank Reeder and whoever's on the outside. I can't remember who it is, but whoever's on the outside, maybe they keep around for one more year, but I don't know how much longer after that. And then they at least replace one of them. See who's better fit with your team after one more year, and then next year you replace one of them, Frank Reeder or Caden Hollister. Hollister's not too bad actually. He just hasn't had too much production. Maybe not good scheme fit. Then you got the minute. Oh wait, I'm still going. And then in secondary, you got Tyler Holmes who's getting older, so maybe I don't think he needs to be replaced next year, but definitely the next year after that. What else? Mike Carter's really good. I do like their third string, Clyde Copeland. Maybe a fourth string when needed later in the draft. Free safety, Ahmed Lowe feels good, and so I do like Esteban Andre, the strong safety. So pretty good for the LA Earthquake. Just some bigger needs in some parts. Fishers, let's see. Fishers are number 9, 3 and 5. Do a quicker thing of them. Quarterback Tony Jackson, I think he's good. Has a career in Minneapolis as I see it. Halfback Hoskins, good. Wide receiver core, I like him. I like Sanchez. He's a deep threat. Lamb's a possession guy. Von Ifson's good. Gibson's older, so he'll probably be replaced probably a wide receiver later in the draft. Tight end, Llewellyn Snyder's good. Offensive line, pretty good for the most part. D-line, got Erwin Badger, who's an absolute beast. Taylor Lopez, who is getting older, but he should be good for a few more years. Right, Renee Galvin's pretty good. Left outside linebackers. Aguilar's good. Ramirez is good. Singleton's good. Nothing need to be changed there. Secondary corners, they got Jeffrey Lee, who I like. Mitchell Phelps, I like. I can't remember who their slot corner is, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty good. Free safety, they really feel good about their safety class, but I don't know if I'd like Lawrence Freeman as much as the Fishers do. So I don't know. He might be replaced, especially where they are picking in the draft and with how little needs they do actually have. New York Businessmen, number 8 at 3 and 5. Quarterback Gurnett. See, this is the most quarterback I don't get. He's really good one week, and then the next week he's terrible. So I don't know. Does he have a future in New York? Maybe. With how low they are picking at the moment, and if they do get better, I don't think they'll take a quarterback if Chad Harrison will probably fall by then. If Chad Harrison falls to them, you take Harrison. If one of the free agent quarterbacks, Skies or Brian Types comes to you, you take them. You always want to put a bid on them. But if all else fails and Chad Harrison takes the free agent quarterbacks don't go to New York, you keep with Gurnett for one more year at least. So that's what I think about Henry Gurnett's situation. Halfback Eugene Green, great. Wide receivers, Johnson's a stud. Myers is a stud. Wart's getting older, so probably not going to be your franchise guy. Rhodes isn't a third string wide receiver kind of guy, so you need a receiver maybe earlier in the draft, middle of the draft. Middle early, probably. Third round, probably, I'd say. Then you got tight end. Trey Jackson's good. Offensive line needs a little bit of depth. D-line, I like Hidway. I like, who else is there? I can't remember the right end, but I like the right end. You look that. Bill Gregors, that's who I like. Bill Gregors. Adali Kaysen, serviceable. Could be better at block shedding. Then you got their linebackers, who was really good, actually. I think it's one of the strong points of their team. Eddie Spark, who's a nice pass rusher. The rookie they're taking out, Wagner's good, and Corey Palmer, their third pick, which should be good, is pretty good. So maybe not worth the pick he was taken, but still pretty good. So then you got the corners. Older is Garnett and Brady Garnett and Payne Antoine. So they need to be replaced pretty soon. I think they will go corner in the draft. If Brady Blackburn falls to them at their first pick, and if Harrison's off the board, maybe they go Brady Blackburn. He should be good. Kevin Truls should be the future. So Brady Blackburn and Kevin Truls might be the future you'd see next year for this team. And then Kevin Truls. Wait, I just talked about Kevin Truls. Who's their fourth guy? I think Nick Camp. Nick Camp. He is their fourth guy. I don't really think he's a slot corner kind of type, so maybe not him as third. So maybe they draft another corner later in the draft. It won't be that good of a one, but it will be one. And safety, Eddie Tide's amazing. Stephon Lester has the future. So there you go. Number 7, the Atlanta Predators are 4-4. Quarterback Trent Hudson should be the future. He's the number 1 overall pick. Has pretty good feet. He's pretty good at throwing the ball. Just needs to develop that arm a little bit. Halfback Warren Rocker maybe has a future, but if a free agent comes that's better than him, will be taken by Atlanta. Wide receivers, they need depth because Carousel, he's getting older. Franklin's getting older, but has a few good years for both of them maybe. Carousel maybe not so much. Ron Foyle is definitely going to be the future number 1. So they need to draft a wide receiver, I think, in the middle of the draft. Tight end, Shady's a beast. Offensive line, they need to draft offensive line. That should be probably their first pick. D-line. That's the best point of the team. You got Trent and Savage, who's been okay. Weddis, who's produced amazingly in the second year. DT. Philip Fax, who's amazing. Matthew Harmon, who was on a paper good, but hasn't had the stats really to show it. Or, I mean, on field good, but hasn't had the stats to go with it. Linebackers. Trent's good. Hexel's been okay. And then they don't really use the red outside linebacker much, so Hexel hasn't done much. But Dan Marino is also really good. So the linebacker, I like Tony Trent in there with Dan Marino. And that 4-2 kind of scheme they fit 4-2-5 they usually do with. And then sometimes they take out the third linebacker and put Hexel in there and dime blitzes sometimes. Yeah, but pretty good. Corners, I do like Sandoval. I like Ryan's. Third one, Tony Space. This is pretty good. I do like the corners. I think they're underrated corners. But, yeah, Mike Fake. Free safety, Adam Carson probably has to go. He's getting older, not that great. Strong safety, Josh Carl's a beast. Just a beast. So, he'll probably stay. Well, no, he'll stay for sure, but, yeah. Then you got, oh, yeah. By the way, since we're halfway through me rating all these teams, I'm going to tell you my mock draft of the first 4 rounds will be out next week. I actually have it ready, but this video is only supposed to be 30 minutes long, so since I'm going into depth with all these power rankings, I'm not going to do it. So it'll be next week. Number 6, Kansas City Wind. 4-4. You got Kyle Shooter, who needs to be, again, if Harrison falls, you go into, maybe they go Jason Kidd later in the draft. I don't know, have a quarterback controversy in Kansas City. We'll see how Shooter plays out the rest of the year. Halfback Rodgers, and talk for MVP, you're not going to, he's great. Wide receivers. So, drink some water. Fitzgerald's a beast. Davis is a beast. Wagner's a beast. You just need a 4th guy. So later in the draft, probably look out for the win to help that high-powered offense. Tight end, Hammond's a beast, and Andrew Webb behind him is even great. Offensive line is pretty good for the most part. No complaints, really. D-line, one of the weaker spots. They got Ian Petty, who's an absolute monster on the field. He's a menace. Angelo Alexander needs to be replaced. Their edge, and then their other edge, who is Evan Colston. Maybe you develop. We'll see what he does. Linebackers, Frankie is really good from New York. He's been flourishing in the system of Kansas City. And the linebacker, Walter Hill's good. Left outside the linebacker, who is that? I think that's That is Wesley Francis. He needs to be replaced in my opinion. So, just my thoughts on that corner. They needed number 1. Otis Craig is not a number 1 guy. It's maybe a number 2 guy. but not number one guy. So Cragg, he's okay. He's the number 2 slot. Who else do they got? Mason Beasley, the rookie. He's like their slot guy. He's okay. He's got a few good plays. Who did they take from Detroit? I know their other guys was the backup on the power. No, it's not on the power. Who's it? Trying to find him. Roland Murray. That's who it was. He's okay. I think he could be their slot corner in the future. They just need a number 1 guy out there. Free safety. I can't remember who it is. Sean Martinez. He's good. He's great. Strong safety. Ricky Golden's amazing. He should have a great future for Kansas City. Then you got at number 5 the Houston Enforcers at 4-4. Quarterback Warren Jones. I don't know. I think he might have a future in Houston. I don't know. I thought they thought that offense would be a lot better than it actually was this season, so we'll see how that goes. Then halfback, you have Alfred Norris and Ted Evans. Norris, I think, will stay. Evans, maybe not. Wide receivers, you got Von Peters, who is really good. Nestor Hood, who was supposed to be advertised really good, but hasn't really done well, so I don't know. Bob Murphy's good, but I don't think they'll do anything to that wide receiver core this offseason. I don't know. Maybe they do trade Nestor Hood, see if he has value. Second round pick. I don't know. But I think he would flourish in a different system. Like, I don't know. I think they might actually trade him. I don't know. He's just not really flourishing in Houston's system. Trade ideas? Maybe. Tight end, you got Danny Edwards. Great. Just good rookie. Offensive line, little bit of help, probably some depth. D-line, you got one of the, probably the best in football. Probably. You got Mark Spender on the outside, Newton Fitch on the outside, Dez going up the middle. That's great D-line. No complaints. Maybe, no, wait. They do need a second DT. Because Conan, you just think about if they got a stud defensive tackle like Lewis McCormick. Say they traded Nestor Hood and got a second defensive tackle with one of their picks in the second round. Whew, baby, I'd be scared of that D-line if I was on a quarterback. Linebackers, you got some more pressure. Eric Proston, who still hasn't been that great for them this season, was supposed to be a lot better. They don't really use too many left outside linebackers. Middle linebacker, Cole Wadden, pretty good rookie. Right outside linebacker, Alden Clem's been getting a lot of assists. Corners, you got Ulysses Shackelford, who's a really good second option. Their number 1 guy, who is DeAndre Shoemaker's good. Who else they got? In the slot, they got Stephen Harris, who's pretty good, so no complaints there. Free safety, you got John Reed, who could be debatably the best, one of the best safeties. And then strong safety, you got Raymond Mitchell, who's older, but they have their replacement, Shaquille Saad. So, pretty good defense for Houston, as the usual. So then you got, at number 4, the Detroit Power at 5-3. John Richardson, great. Little, great. Wide receivers, Hugh Brooks, great. Simmons, great. Cruz Hernandez, great. They might be needed for wide receiver, but I think they feel okay about Walter Pratt. Tight end, Hector McDaniel and John Kramer, great. Offensive line, great. That offense is just great on paper. Defense, not so much. You got Shady McGuire and Henry Braves on the defensive tackle. That's okay. Edge, you got Jesse Mendez, who's been okay. He's had his rough droughts, but he's had some pretty good things. You got Amadi Erickson, who's pretty good. I think he has a future. Left outside linebacker, you got David Medina, who's probably might win BPOY again. He's just that good. Middle linebacker, Nicholas Stone. Right outside linebacker, William Torres, so no complaints there. Torres might be replaced next year, who knows. DB, you got Zachary Bryant. You got... Who's this? I have to look. Sometimes forget. Their second DB is Sammy Hansen, who could be replaced. He's had some trouble covering some people. Curtis Townsend, he's pretty good. Free safety, you got Carol Allison and Josiah Hands, who are pretty good. So, I don't know. This defense doesn't do well. Maybe it's just like the playbook they have. Who knows? But, yeah. On paper, that Detroit Power Team is just a beast. 3 is the Natives. Got quarterback, Kerpo, great. Great as their halfback. Wide receiver, Morgan, Williams, Crawford, and they got Mark Berry. So maybe a fourth guy comes down later in the draft. Who knows? Maybe Nate Still. Got tight end. Romero, again, older but young, is the replacement, so he should be good. Offensive line has a little bit of holes, especially if the left tackle spot is debatable. But, yeah, pretty good. On the offensive side, defense, one of the best in the league. We didn't really think would be one of the best in the league. Yeah. Ernest Coleman, who's really good. Doug Dunn, who's really good. They need a second defensive tackle, so maybe in the draft again. Probably compete with Houston for that. DE on the other side. You got Ben Tyrone, who's actually been pretty good for them, so he might have a future. Probably will have a future. That's that linebacker. You got Ronaldo Smith from New York. Not having as good as a time that he did in New York, but he's still been good at a great defense and a lot better team than the Bisman. Middle linebacker, you got Hernandez, who's just great. Right outside linebacker, you got William Hexel, who's been okay. Again, kind of like Atlanta, they don't use their right outside linebacker as much. He was kind of used as a cover guy, and he's more of a blitzing kind of guy. So, corner, you got Paris Mast as their slot. He's really good. On the outside, you got two rookies, Trevor Wedden and Trevor Wedden has been really good too. And then the other rookie is Kendall Carls, who's been really good too. So then you got free safety, you got Chun Lee, who's really good. Strong safety, you got Bruce Goodman, who could be replaced. I think he might be replaced. One of the kind of weaker spots on that defense. But that's not saying much because there's a lot of good spots on the defense. Then number 2, you got the Phoenix Gil Monsters. I do have them at number 2, 7-1. They struggled against Charlotte a little bit, but let's look at how their team is. Quarterback Brian Tepps, he is in free agency this year, but if he comes back, that's good. Halfback Julio Jokes, amazing. Wide receivers got Hank Whoop, good. Sylvester's good. Washington, good. Maybe Nico Mendoza is pretty good for a fourth guy, so I don't think they need to draft the wide receiver. Tight end, Chet Wood, big reach behind him, so it's fine. Offensive line, he's just a little bit of a replacement there, especially in the interior area. D-line, pressure up the middle is not much. Besides, Dwight Edwards kind of a run stopper. I think they thought a lot more of him as pass rushing, but he wasn't really that, so kind of. But he's been really good up the middle. Ends, they got Dale Schott, who's really good. Clint Roaster needs to be replaced. Linebackers, you got left outside, you got middle. In the middle, they got Jordan Jackson, and then on the outside, they have Tony Amigo on the left, who needs to probably be replaced after this year. He's getting too old. Right outside linebacker, they have the rookie of can't remember some of these rookies' names. It's Julio Odom. So he's been really good. So he should have a future in Phoenix. Corners, you got Byron Baxter, probably could be DBOY. It's between Levis, Baxter, and Medina for that, in my opinion. Then, I think Carlos Young on the outside has been pretty good. And then Alfred Flores is a slot guy who could be actually number 2. So, free safety, they got the rookie. Why can't I remember these rookies' names? Make me a little mad. The rookie, Denzel Crazy, who's really good, and then Strong Suit is extra sex. So, Denzel Crazy actually kind of overwhelmed some people on how good he was. So, pretty good for him. And number 1, you got the New Orleans Physicians at 7-1. This video will go over 30 minutes by a little bit. But I'll try to make everything pretty fast. Quarterback Steph Sky is really good. Running back Castles is good. Wide receivers, I like their wide receiver group. Not going to go too in depth with it, but fourth guy would be coming down later in the draft. Line is good. D-line is good. Yeah. Linebackers are good. And secondary I like. So that whole team I really like. It's good. So yeah. MVP rates, I'm not going to talk about the stats because video should be, I'm trying to make it 35 minutes at least. Number 10, Frank Jog. Number 9, Steph Skies. Number 8, Joey Adams. Number 7, Brian Tepps. Number 6, Kermit O. Number 5, Owen Castles. Number 4, Willie Rogers. Number 3, Sean Richardson. Number 2, Julio Jokes. Number 1, Taylor Little. Now, for the playoff picture, in the relocation stats, Cleveland Pirates at 1-7. In the hunt, at number 2 seed is New York Businessmen 3-5. In the hunt, number 1 seed is Kansas City Wind 4-4. Yep, they moved. Number 6 seed is the Houston Enforcers at 4-4. 5th seed is Seattle Nays at 5-3. 4th seed is the Atlanta Predators at 4-4. 3rd seed is the Detroit Pirates 5-3. 2nd seed is Phoenix Gale Monsters at 7-1. 1st seed is the New Orleans Musicians at 7-1. Then to go to tops, quarterback tops. Completion, Tony Jackson 188. Attempts, Tony Jackson 273. Yards, Terry Foster 2,099. Touchdowns, Sean Richardson 13. Interceptions, Terry Foster 15. Halfback tops. Attempts, Taylor Little 167. Yards, Taylor Little 1,000. Congrats, Taylor Little, for being the first one to hit 1,000. Good job. Touchdowns, Willie Rogers 11. Broken tackles, Taylor Little 43. So then you got wide receivers, tight end tops. Receptions, Danny Edwards 53. Yards, Alvin Orr 650. Touchdowns, Warren Bishop and Ron Foyle with 6. Defensive top. Solo tackles, Dan Marino 49. Assists, Dave Medina and Gary Riley at 37. Tackles for loss, Luke Frank at 16. Sacks, Roland Lemps at 20.5. Turnovers, Byron Baxter at 7. Now we got 2 more things left: offensive, defensive stats, and then week 9 predictions and bold predictions, which have not been too bold recently. Offense, number 12 in the league, Businessmen. Number 11 in the league, Predators. Number 10 in the league, Enforcers. 9, Bats. 8, Fishers. 7, Pirates. 6, Natives. 5, Earthquake. 4, Power. 3, Gale Monsters. 2, Musicians. And number 1, Wind. Before we keep going on against more. Rush yards, or rush offense. 12 Earthquake, 11 Fishers, 10 Bats, 9 Businessmen, 8 Pirates, 7th Predators, 6 Wind, 5th Enforcers, 4th Natives, 3rd Musicians, 2nd Gale Monsters, 1st Power. Passing offense. 12th Businessmen, 11th Predators, 10th Enforcers, 9th Power, 8th Gale Monsters, 7th Natives, 6th Musicians, 5th Pirates, 4th Bats, 3rd Earthquake, 2nd Wind, 1st Earthquake. Wait, it's not right. The number 3 is not Earthquake. That would be... What would that be? I'm going through all the teams real quick. That'd be the Natives. Wait, no. Who would that be? It would be the Fishers. So the Fishers at number 3. 2nd Wind, 1st Earthquake. My bad, I guess I had an error somewhere in there. And then for defense, 12th defense in the league is the Wind, 11th Businessmen, 10th Predators, 9th Bats, 8th Fishers, 9th Power, 7th Power, 6th Pirates, 5th Gale Monsters, 4th Earthquake, 3rd Enforcers, 2nd Natives, 1st Musicians. Defensive on the rush. 12th Earthquake, 11th Wind, 10th Businessmen, 9th Bats, 8th Fishers, 7th Predators, 6th Pirates, 5th Power, 4th Musicians, 3rd Gale Monsters, 2nd Natives, 1st Enforcers. Defense on the pass. 12th Wind, 11th Power, 10th Predators, 9th Gale Monsters, 8th Fishers, 7th Businessmen, 6th Pirates, 5th Bats, 4th Enforcers, 3rd Natives, 2nd Musicians, 1st Earthquake. So now we got the predictions and the bold predictions to end off our week before week 9 podcast. Let's get into it. Thursday night prime time, we got the Detroit Power at 5-3 headed to the 7-1. Phoenix Gale Monsters. Detroit on the 4-game win streak. Phoenix trying to get that number 1 seed. They do have the bye right now by a pretty comfortable 2 games above Detroit. But Detroit trying to close in that margin. Good game we got, but Phoenix having to go against such a bad pass defense will destroy. I say this is a Phoenix W. Brian Tepps over 200 yards. That is my bold prediction. What I got, Power was my favorite team last year, so see if they surprise me. Natives at Predators for the 1 o'clock game. This right now in the playoff picture, this would be the matchup of the playoffs for the wild card. I do like my Predators, and I think we get the win here. I don't know. I mean, you just gotta go through team. You just got to. Um, Bold prediction. Both teams score over 20 points. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. Even though the Predators probably are going against a really good defense, second best defense in the league, I think they could do some damage. Then you got the Bisman at the Bats for the other 1 o'clock game. Divisional game. Bisman trying to keep up with Atlanta. And Bats really just trying to not be relocated. So Phillips banking off a lot. Really good game last week. Bisman will win this one. Bold prediction. Gurnett 2 passing touchdowns. Very bold prediction. Might be my boldest of the week, actually. So, yeah. Enforcers at Musicians. For the first 4:15 game. This game happened at week 2. These two fought the divisional matchup, and being in New Orleans, and I think New Orleans is a better team. Enforcers had a good game last week, but they're not going to beat the Musicians. This is a Musicians win. I kind of bet it wrong thinking that Willie Rogers had over 100 yards last week. So I'm going to bet this week that Enforcers keep Owen Castles under 50 yards. And this guy, he came back in the Minneapolis game, I think in the third quarter, maybe later in the third quarter, and he destroyed and had over 60 yards in the fourth quarter, and maybe in some in the third. But still, insane. So that's me saying a lot if the Enforcers are going to hold him under 50 for the whole game. So then 4:15, you got Fishers at the Wind. Both teams trying to fight for that playoff. Wind have a better chance than the Fishers. Fishers really need a win here if they want to try to sneak into that playoff, especially trying to keep up with Detroit. Give me Minneapolis. Just that Fishers offense going so high powered against that terrible pass defense of the Wind. I think it will be a Fishers win. Bold prediction. There will be 2 interceptions thrown in this game by either quarterback. I don't know. I couldn't really think of one. I didn't want to go over 200 yards just like the field Gil Monster game again, so I tried to be different. And then Monday night primetime, you got the Earthquake at the Pirates. I think this will be a Pirates win. I know the Earthquake have been really bad of recent, so have the Pirates, but they've shown more promise. Bold prediction. Frank Jog 2 rushing touchdowns. Bold prediction right there. So yeah, that's my bold prediction. Let's go into a quick little thing at the college. You got it's week 3 of the college series? Yeah, it would be. So you would have what would it be? So it would be a game like that. So it'd be East at North. If Lee Bridges plays the way he did, I'm not going to do bold predictions. I'll just give you my predictions for this one. Lee Bridges, he could be good. He's going to start. He's yet to start. Against Chad Harrison. Give me North. Be a close game, but give me North. I like North, so. South at West. Mooney against Riddle. Mooney played lights out last week. So give me South. Okay, take the South. I'll take South Falcons, North Giants. That is it for the week before week 9 podcast. See you guys in week 9. Well, yeah, you won't see my face till week 10, but see you guys week 9.